this time we should put some music over this.
I think if we levy the music, we won't have to be as interesting.
Oh, of course.
So,
that's the trick.
We're
very young in this podcast game, and we're learning the tips and tricks.
I mean, that's what 70 years of radio DJs already knew. We just found out.
Fuck the radio DJs.
Fuck the radio DJs. If there are any radio DJs out there, fuck you.
That's
what
I said.
I don't know any radio DJs.
Yeah. Actually, I took a delivery to WBLX, but it's in like a complex that's near where my job is.
In a BLX?
Yes. Complex. And I met one of the DJs there. I forget what his name is. It's not Nick at Night.
Go, Daddy, go. Go, Daddy, go.
I really wanted it to be Nick at Night. I'd love to meet him. But it was... I forget his name, because I don't listen to the radio anymore. Yeah. But,
they listen to Twitter Sitters. That's what they do now.
I hope you all listen to Twitter Sitters. Welcome to Twitter Sitters.
Welcome to Twitter Sitters. Like,
we're here.
Tell me about the BLX DJ.
That was it.
That was it.
Food. I just met him.
Was he nice?
Yeah, he was alright.
Did he tip?
Yeah.
Okay.
He tipped every time.
The weird thing, like, I don't... This is probably on purpose. I don't know. 93 BLX is just... like a short form of just blacks. That's
I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Is that weird?
93 blacks. Yeah, that's how many people work
there.
How many
people?
93 blacks work there.
That's 93 blacks and one Jew intern.
Yeah, a lawyer.
Oh, they're a lawyer.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a maybe I don't know. We can talk to them about seeing if we can get a slot like a 2 to 3 a.m. slot when they're playing shitty dance music.
I actually heard a comedian that we see every now and then was on the radio. I don't know what radio or what station or whatever, but
he was on one radio.
Yeah, I remember. I was getting ready to set up open mic and everything, and he's him and his friend are posted up by the stage, like taking like pictures of him, and he's posing, and I'm walking by like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm about to be on the radio. Really?
If it's the dude I'm thinking of, it's not good.
It is the dude you're thinking of.
Okay.
I want to say it is.
I maybe he was having a weird night or something, but I didn't. Dude's trying. I don't know why I'm talking shit.
No. Look, we can go into it after the podcast, but I have a contender in my mind for who is the most improved comedian of 2017.
Is it Bill Goodman? Tell me why it's Bill Goodman.
I mean, no, like, I wouldn't say it's you, because you are... People that were doing comedy before I started doing comedy, I see as, like, my OGs. Like, they're already, like... I want to be where they are, or where y'all are, I should say. But, this guy, he had started doing comedy, like... Well, I don't know when he started, but, like, I started seeing him, like maybe 3 or 4 months ago.
Okay.
And, you know, when you start, like, I mean, when you start off, you don't get laughs. You're, like, you know, kind of awkward on stage. And the thing is...
No, it's always been good.
Oh, okay, never mind. Sorry, I'll speak for myself then. But, he, you know, like, he's still very awkward on stage.
I know you're talking about.
Yeah, but, like, every now and then, like, he will get, like, a roar of laughs.
It's so weird watching, because, like, he will get on stage, and the first, like, minute and a half to 2 minutes is almost like pulling teeth.
Yeah.
But something happens after those 2 minutes. This dude just fucking goes off.
Yeah. Like, there's a certain joke he tells, but I feel like it will reveal who he is if I go into the joke. But, like, there's a certain joke that he tells that fucking kills every time. And, watching it, I'm always like, this is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it was
I don't know why he doesn't, like, extrapolate on this.
Like, he was doing comedy before, but he would only go to, like, Satori. He would only go to Satori.
Oh, okay.
But once that shut down, he started coming more to the Blind Mule. And, yeah, because, like, I don't know, once again, I don't know what it is, but 2 minutes in, like, I guess there's just, like, a period of time where people have to realize what he is doing.
Yeah.
And once they're on board with it, like, he goes off.
Yeah, it was surprising the first time I saw it. I was like, look at, oh shit, oh my god, it's happening.
Get him. I was going to say T. Get him, T.
Yeah, get him, T. But, I couldn't, I mean, I'm trying to keep focused over here,
it's hard.
but what you wearing?
Here's what
Bill?
I'm doing right now. Taking inspiration from the last 10 years of white people culture, I've stitched together a shirt using 55 different patterns of plaid.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
55
of them.
55. People don't think there are 55 different patterns of plaid, but there are plentiful different patterns of plaid. All right.
All right.
And I am wearing every single one. I'm wearing a Technicolor plaid coat right now.
Oh, okay.
It is just magnanimous. I'm loving it. I read the latest issue of GQ magazine that recommended a good belt to really tie together the whole ensemble. So right now, I have on a belt made up of the spinal cords of my enemies.
Oh.
And
I noticed I didn't see very many of them walking around.
Well,
I wondered what happened.
It's a very big belt because
I got a lot of enemies.
I'm very petty. I'm very petty. So it's not doing good job as a belt, but as a hula hoop, great.
Okay,
it's working out.
Cool.
I'm just wearing some Lieutenant Dangle short shorts.
Wow.
Now. And
that's what was distracting me the most.
Well, it's the cold air nipping at your thighs. It's like Christmas as a 7-year-old all over again.
I can't relate to that one.
Everyone's traditions are different, Ryan.
Oh, sorry.
It's fine.
I didn't mean to pry.
I couldn't decide on shoes, so I have on one Doc Marten boot and one half of a Croc on the other one.
Oh, wow. See, I didn't even see that. I got the lean up. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. How'd you get half a Croc?
Well, here's the thing. Croc ate it.
I should have known.
the Croc, as Crocs are notorious to do.
Oh, okay.
What about? Yeah, I've noticed some weird stuff going on, and your aura is really jacking up my synapses right now. What are you wearing over there?
Well, thank you, Bill. Well, of course, I always got to go with the all-white Air Force Ones.
We got them.
But, of course, today I'm not wearing them on my feet.
No, they're on your wall. I don't know.
Well, they're on my wall, of course, but also I'm wearing them on my hands.
See, I didn't know you had multiple pairs.
I have foot. I need 2 per. I need 2 per. Of course.
I didn't know he was teaching us about bulk shopping back then.
Yeah. Well, I need an all-white pair and then another all-white pair. So, I mean,
eventually the first all-white pair is going to be some white.
Well, that's if you a bitch.
All right.
I mean, you keep them all white.
I work in a pizza kitchen. I don't have...
I mean, look, the all-white Air Force Ones are not for everyday use.
I feel pretty comfortable in all-white Air Force... at the party, on the boat, wherever good times are had,
Well, that's because you a bitch, Bill.
A bitch!
My all-white Air Force Ones never leave this room. I'll literally only wear them for this.
They are not house shoes. They are room shoes.
Yeah, they're for, I'll have on house shoes, but on my hands I got the Air Force Ones. And also, I just want to say, real talk. Actually, on my feet right now, I'm wearing Coppertone brand house shoes. I would call them boat shoes, but I've never been on a fucking boat, so they're house shoes.
No, I think boat shoes include a Roth 401k or Roth IRA. I don't know anything about.
I wouldn't know the difference.
I don't know. I don't know anything about anything.
I wouldn't have corrected you. But also, I'm wearing a bunny suit.
Yeah, you get a real Donnie Darko thing going on.
No, don't you dare say that name to me. See, that bunny suit sucks.
That's not a slur, by the way.
How dare you? But this bunny suit is supposed to exude happiness and softness. It feels like wearing a hug, and I'm a lonely person.
Okay.
So I'd like to wear a hug as much as possible. And going with the theme of comfort and happiness, I'm also wearing the blood of my enemies over my face.
Man, we're just going on I'm not going to call it a genocide, because that has some bad connotations.
These people deserved it.
I mean, I would say jihad. I would say that's more along the lines of what we're doing.
As Hitler and Mussolini and all the people that I look up to in history would say, those people deserved it.
I mean, Hitler's jihad. One of the better jihads.
The top 10 jihad. Yeah, we need to come out with our 2017 list. Top 10 jihad. Let's work on that.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So...
Oh, we've been busy. It's been a while since we recorded an episode
well,
here.
Yeah, there was Christmas. There were Thursdays. Those are always hard.
Yeah.
Plus the general. But we're here now. We're here together, and that's what matters.
Yeah, and I'm glad we're in an upbeat mood because that is about to take a sharp downturn.
This could be upsetting. I don't know. So the Twitter that we're looking at today is at So Sad Today.
And I actually saw this Twitter and immediately was like, we have to do this one.
Yeah.
Because at the time when I saw it, I was so sad that day. And all these tweets that I'm looking at right now spoke so heavily to me.
Like, even if you're not sad, they kind of still speak to a certain part of you. Like,
Yeah.
I think, the party that, like, always holds those burdens, I think, it comes out here.
I'm gonna just say I can't promise that there won't be tears shed today.
Well, the good thing is, crying sounds great over headphones.
Oh, dude, it's not even... Fuck the headphones. Dude, having just a good cry every now and then...
Yeah, the actual exercise of crying
Oh, hell yeah.
Is weirdly good.
I can, fuck your masculinity, fuck your whatever.
Like...
You're talking to the Easy Bake Oven boys right now? Dude, cry. Can we like have that... Can we have that as a thing?
Yeah. We'll make t-shirts.
It looks like I just... It sounds like I just proposed marriage to you. Like, yes! Of course I will!
Oh!
But
You think so? Yeah. Like...
Easy Bake Oven Boys t-shirts coming up.
Like, crying... Like, I've done workouts and stuff,
Yeah.
but I've never felt so exhausted as I do after crying. Like,
Well, that's because you're exercising all of the...
everything clenches. Like...
And it's so therapeutic.
How many calories does crying burn?
You know what? I'm going to have to figure that out. I'm going to have to get, like, really hurt one day and, like, measure that, and I will get back to you. I will get back to you, people.
We could always do, me and a previous guest, Carson, and two other people, we had a contest to see who could make themselves cry.
Oh, yeah?
And, undisputed champion right here.
Oh, you did it?
Yeah. They were all trying very hard, and, like, they were like, well, I guess none of us could do it. And I just looked up and I just had tears in my eyes. I was like, did I win?
Were you able to, like, unlock something inside, or did you just do it because you could?
There's certain things that I can empathize with that, like, I've gone through.
Oh,
that,
okay. So you had to go to a place.
Yeah. To my dark place.
Well, you ready to go back to that place?
Let's enter the dark place. So sad today. She has a book. Apparently, she's published a book. I would base one of the questions we can ask at the end of this is if we would recommend the book. I guess.
Okay.
Based on it, but Lady Macbeth. I don't think that's her, but that sounds like something that she may be into.
It's a pseudonym.
Her email address sosadtoday29@gmail.com. Which there's how many So Sad Todays are there?
You know what? I hope there's not 29.
That's.
I hope so many people are not so sad that they would make that their forever email address.
Here's the thing: it was 29 then. How many much more?
Oh my god! Let's not even speculate.
So
usually we like to look at the likes first.
This is a humdinger.
Yeah, there's a lot of likes here. There's 34,000 likes. So I'm not even gonna go there.
Which, I mean. How can she be so sad if there's so much stuff to like?
Well, I mean, that's not the source of happiness, Bill. I want to be rich with faith. I want to be rich with happiness, not rich with likes.
I think you want to be rich with just all white Air Force Ones.
Well, she is rich with followers here. I see she has 578,000 followers. That's a pretty substantial number.
That's why stick with the Hitler thing. I think that's about half the Holocaust.
Okay.
She's working.
Cool. Let's keep with the Hitler theme.
So her location is Starbucks.
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 I don't know how to pronounce that.
Starbucks.
The new fragrance. But
spraying coffee on it.
Let's go ahead and go into this first tweet.
Yeah,
It
which,
is,
what's the date today?
today is December 28th.
December 28th, just in case you want to follow along with us. This is the first tweet.
Oh yeah, by the way, I don't know if we've been stressing this a lot. We encourage you to follow along with us here.
That's the best way to do it.
Yeah. So go ahead and stop what you're doing.
And it's like being in class. You know, this is Twitter class.
Take your textbooks out now. Turn to page December 28th.
Follow along. You don't have to cut to the part where you're gonna have to read and rehearse it in your head. You don't even have to do that with this.
Yeah, just scroll.
Just scroll.
Just take your thumb, scroll. All right. This one was 6 hours ago, December 28th. It says, "Sometimes I forget I have." God, I'm sorry. I fucked that up.
What a tweet that is.
I don't even know how you spell that. Sometimes I forget I have depression. And it's like, why does everyone else seem fine with being alive? This is some relatable shit. Dave. Shouts out to Dave.
Yeah, shouts out to Dave.
Some relatable shit here, Bill.
I mean, I think it's so relatable to everyone that you can call me by any name and it would still fit. I think everyone has these days, where you just don't want to be alive. Like, there's some days where I don't get out of bed, really.
Sometimes it feels like I don't know, like, I have to get out of bed, and of course, my controller does not need a fucking update. It's a fucking controller.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Anyway.
Jesus, is your fridge gonna have to reboot?
Yeah, I was gonna say, Jesus Christ. Anyway, sorry about that. But, of course, we all have, responsibilities. We're all adults. We have to get out of bed. But it seems like there's days where I'm just sleepwalking through the day.
Yeah.
And I'll look at other people and I look into their eyes and I'm wondering, do you, does this, how do you do this every day?
Sometimes, I'll look at people and be like, are you doing the same thing I am? I wonder how many of us are...
screaming internally.
Yeah, we're just coasting on this road of existence.
Yeah, that's sad.
Because there's some days where it's great. There's some days where everything is up, and then there's some days where I want to, but I'm not going to. Where I want to just put a gun in my mouth, but I know I'm not going to.
Yeah, that's the thing that gets me a lot. Is speaking to myself, you're too pussy to go out and do the things that would fulfill you in life and make you excited to live, but you're also too pussy to kill yourself.
Yeah.
So I'm stuck in this middle ground.
Yeah, you're a swinging pendulum of mediocrity.
It's and that's even more painful.
But at the same time, we do go out and we do something, stand up, podcast, things like this.
I was gonna say, the amount of days, the time, right before I started doing stand-up, there was, a turning point. Mm-hmm. And I think it had to do with, this girl I was dating. It always goes back to some girl you're dating. That's
the plight of the young man.
And we had, a spat or whatever, and, we broke up. And I was, so down.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I would take him, and this is right before that shit happened to me. Mm-hmm. So I was yet to get to the depths.
Yeah.
But I started doing you and Kevin and a bunch of other friends of mine have been telling me yeah, you should really do stand up for years before this.
Yeah.
And it was that point that I took inventory of my life and I was like, why not now? If not now, then when ever are you gonna do it? So I just did it, and it was the best day of my life.
Yeah.
It was so exhilarating, and I just got addicted to it. And I'll say ever since then, those days of me sleepwalking through my day have been less and less.
Yeah.
The more I
you gotta be active. You gotta be on your toes, looking at things.
You gotta pour yourself into it and always be looking for material. And that's another thing about comedy is you'll see things in your life that are terrible and a bad thing happen to you, but instead of dwelling on it as a bad thing, you start to look at it as, where's the joke here?
I mean, literally right before we started recording, you were talking about how someone got shot.
Yes. Yeah, dude.
We started going off about body bags.
Yeah, this is the joke right now.
But I mean, judging from what I know about myself and what I knew about myself before I started doing stand-up, I'm still angry a lot, but it's in a lot more of a constructive manner.
Oh, you can use the anger.
Yeah, I can. Like, I'm not just like a vessel of just anger and like bubbling rage or anything like that. Like I can.
Yeah.
It's gotten me a lot better at talking about things and talking with myself about things.
Oh, hell yeah.
And kind of neutralizing everything to... Everything is a joke, really.
A cosmic joke, I would say. Life in and of itself. Which brings us to our next tweet here.
Where does it hurt? Points to existence.
Oh, man. See, that's some deep-ass shit right there.
Which, I mean, I would argue that existence and a lot of life is periods of pain punctuated with happiness. Very
short periods of happiness. Like, happiness is so goddamn fleeting.
Yeah. It's like catching a red light.
Oh, yeah.
You know, this is where you're going to stop and then look around and enjoy everything. But those periods of happiness are great.
Yeah, but, I mean, it's hard to look back fondly on happiness while you're neck deep in shit. But it's possible. It's just hard.
I mean,
I'd say.
Even if you're neck deep in shit, you can still, if they're close enough, you can still smell the roses. You know?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's probably
I
not true.
The smell of shit would easily.
It's probably not true. This next tweet, I'm on board with.
Oh hell yeah! Let's dive into this. Is 9 hours ago.
We regret to inform you that your kid isn't that great.
Now, this is a bumper sticker if I ever seen one.
Like, I have a daughter. I love my daughter a lot.
Well, Bill, I'm sorry to tell you.
I totally get, like, I know that people don't give a shit about my daughter.
Thank you.
But, to me, she is wonderful, but I totally get other people not caring.
Like, for instance, I saw actually, I think I retweeted this. Shouts out to my Twitter. But, I saw a tweet from somebody that was like, dudes be like 29 talking about what's the move.
Oh, I saw that.
And like, bro, go start a family. And I felt personally attacked because I'm 29.
Yeah.
And I was like...
Well, also, they tagged you in it.
Oh, yes. Also, they added my ass. But I'm like, no, I want no part of that. Like, I don't want kids.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just...
Like, I was having a discussion with someone, and they were a little bit younger than me, and they were told, like, that they were, like, aggressively wanting children, and it's not for everybody.
Absolutely not.
It's like...
I would say it's best to realize it's not for you before you have kids.
Yeah.
That's a great time to realize that.
Like, I love my daughter. I feel like I'm better off having had her.
Yeah.
And do not want to. 1 is fun. 2 is gonna be too much.
Yeah, it feels like multiple kids would stretch me very thin.
Yeah.
It feels like 1 kid would stretch me very thin, but I would be invisible with 2 kids. But yeah, there's a prevailing attitude that my kid is better than your kid. Like, my kid deserves... My kid's an honor student.
Jesus.
Bill. My kid is a Boy Scout.
Look,
so...
Whenever I see those things, I look at it this way. I was an honor student. I was a Boy Scout. Look at me now.
Yeah. Yeah, check this shit out. Get a good look.
I am your kid.
So on that note, our next tweet from 21 hours ago says, if you need me, I'll be trapped inside my head. Now...
That sounds like a Blink-182 lyric.
Yeah. Trapped inside my head. But this one I don't necessarily really... I mean, I get where it's coming from, but maybe it's my personality type. I don't really... I guess I'm what you would call an extrovert.
Ooh,
like, I don't like... Yeah, I don't like labels like that.
Doing social cartwheels and whatnot.
Exactly. Like, I don't like shit like that, but I don't like labeling people. But at the same time, I see... Where I notice that more than the people I surround myself with or like my closest friends, I'm more outgoing and more forward with my feelings. Whereas more people that I know or whatever, like for instance, one of my roommates will like not really express when he is upset about something.
Okay.
Whereas I'll straight up just be like, "Hey, you son of a bitch," or something.
See, my thing is because like a lot of times I do keep things in some just because like I don't know if I'm being ridiculous in some things because I know that I do get upset about some things that don't warrant getting upset about. If I let that out all the time, then nothing good comes of that. Like I'm getting mad because like
there's definitely a nuance to it.
Yeah. So I try to take a step back and figure out if this is worth me getting angry about, and if it actually means anything. If it's just like, the candle is a different scent than what I want, so like I'm not good. There's no reason for me to get mad about it.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think personally, I think that it's healthy to let things out.
Yeah,
because I always go back to it. It feels like it would give me cancer if I just, like, kept everything inside. But I do that in relationships, though, where if my partner pisses me off in some way, I have a hard time, like, bringing it up right then. And then it gets to a point where, like, they'll say some small thing to me and I just blow the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, where the fuck did this come from?
Like, my recent relationships have not been like that. The big relationship I was in, like, a while ago, that one, because we were both like that.
Oh, God.
And, like, it would get to the point where, like, any argument would just immediately escalate into personal attacks. Like, I remember, like, I freaked out one time because she didn't... I made dinner, and I made potato hash.
All right.
And she was complaining that I burnt the potatoes, which I absolutely did. I burned the potatoes.
All right.
But I freaked the fuck out because she was not eating the potatoes that I made, as if it took, like, a whole lot of effort on my part.
Well, I'm sure... Well, I can't cook, so I can't speak on that. If I cooked... my non-cooking ass, if I cooked potatoes for somebody and they didn't eat them, I would...
Like...
I would want to throw hands.
Potatoes ended up turning into... me saying I'm not your dad.
Oh.
And her throwing a scale at me.
What the fuck?
So it is not healthy to do those things, especially in relationships.
It sounds like that relationship in and of itself wasn't healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh shit! This next tweet. Damn.
Oh man. One day ago, she died as she lived. Feeling like she was about to die. Now,
I like this one.
Like,
not because it's something I feel, just because I like the push and pull. I like the wordplay.
It is a beautifully constructed sentence. Yeah. Like it's the colon really balances it out.
Yeah.
Like,
y'all should actually really go look at this tweet right now.
It's the visual equivalent of art. I feel like this
is top 10. This is going on our year-end list. Top 10 depression tweets. Right
like here. I don't know. Like, do you ever feel that your mortality is fleeting? And and does that bother you?
Okay, so real talk. In 2 months, in February, I will be turning 30.
Yeah,
which is 10 years away from 40.
That is how numbers work.
Yes.
You're right.
But, 10 years ago, I'm about to say a bunch of basic shit, but it means shit to me. 10 years ago, I was 20, which seems like a lifetime ago. But, the more time that I experience, the faster time seems to go.
Yeah.
So that 10 years between 30 and 40 is going to seem like nothing.
Well, you know why, right?
Why?
The reason why time passes quicker for you as you're getting older is, imagine you're 5 years old, right?
Yeah.
You're 5 years old. 1 year is a fifth of your life.
Such is true.
You get to be 10 years old. 1 year is a tenth of your life, so it doesn't seem like quite so big of a time. So your body acclimates as far as how you experience it.
Yeah.
Then you get on, and eventually you go to sleep one day and you wake up and you're dead.
Yeah, that's what it feels like is going to happen.
And that's not what's going to happen. You're doing good.
I mean, look, I don't know if it's stress or just being older, but my hair is starting to thin.
Okay.
Which is, really making me, look at my older relatives, or am I going to look like you in a couple of months? What's the pattern of my baldness going to be? But yeah, it definitely makes me think about dying.
Yeah.
And because, for instance, the relative that all my relatives tell me that I resemble most is my grandfather.
Okay.
Who died, like, he died while I was alive, but wasn't, you know...
You were, like, cognitive?
Yeah, we didn't get to, like, know each other or anything. But they always tell me, oh, you remind me of Daddy, like, it's their daddy.
Yeah.
But I'll always look at pictures of him, and I'm like, man, so this is it. This is what I'm gonna look like.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. You may look like him, but you're still you.
No, he was schizophrenic.
So he wasn't really him.
He had a complex where for days at a time, I think they told me that he would think that he was a white man and would just racially, like, berate the rest of the family. And they'd be like, oh,
Christ.
There goes Daddy again.
See, my grandfather was like that, but without the being black and schizophrenic part.
Oh, okay. He was
just
an asshole.
Yeah, he was just mean.
Damn.
I'm glad he's dead. So next week,
from December 27th here, this is yesterday, I am anxiety. Bill, do you suffer from anxiety? Because I do not, and I've always wondered what that's like.
I would say, like, it depends on what you mean by anxiety. Like, I don't talk a whole lot in social situations because I mean, I just don't. I prefer to kind of listen to things going on around me. Like, I like being observant.
Yeah.
Like, anytime there's more than, like, 5 people active in a conversation, I kind of check out and go to do my own thing. I just prefer talking to people one-on-one or with 2 people. It's just more... I feel like there's
more of a chance to engage.
Yeah, there's more of a chance to engage. I don't know. I wouldn't say that's necessarily anxiety.
Yeah.
I would say the only time that I get anxiety is if I'm in a place with just, like, a ton of people around me, and that's more like a physical thing that I don't like. It's just, like, a lot of people touching me and stuff like that.
Oh, fuck no.
And I don't like that. But as far as, like, social anxiety, I don't think so.
Because I have friends that either do or claim to, because it's in right now, to suffer from anxiety.
I feel like I would have claimed to, like, 5 years ago. But
okay.
I think that I've learned enough about myself to know. I just know what I prefer.
Yeah, I definitely don't prefer... Like, alright, so there's a misconception about me, and I know this isn't going to make... No one that doesn't know me in real life is going to give a shit about this. But there's a misconception about me that I don't like being touched.
Okay.
Which is semi-true. I don't like being touched by surprise by people I don't know.
Okay.
And just by surprise in general. Like, I like... If you're going to touch me or give me a hug or whatever, number one, from the front.
That makes sense.
Make sure I know you're coming. Number two... Make sure I know who you are.
Yeah.
Like, that we are on the level that we touch each other.
Yeah, that's I don't like being touched by people that I don't know or don't know very well.
Yeah, there's a certain person right now that has a habit that I don't know him very well. I see him on a weekly basis.
Okay.
But, I mean, we don't hang out and shit, so I don't know him. He does this thing where I'll be sitting down, he'll just come up behind me and just put his hand on my shoulder, and I'll jump out of surprise and be like, oh, what's wrong? You scared? I'm like, no! Like, what is the response to that? Like, you just slap
that was supposed to be cool if people come up and slap at me? Like,
yeah, like, come on. But, yeah, that's... I don't know. Just to set the record straight, I enjoy hugs as much as the next man.
You preferred... You don't want no string attached touching. Like, I guess, I don't know.
I don't like people just touching me.
Yeah,
like,
I don't...
It's weird.
I don't... Like, anytime that I'm in a bar or something like that, and I believe that we both have had this happen to us, where, like, we'll be, like, sexually, like, accosted physically.
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
It makes me angry.
Alright, so I actually have a story about this. Alright, so I was at a bar. Pretty much the same bar we always reference in these bar stories.
Okay, yeah.
It's one of 2 bars. But I was there, and I'm hanging out with my friend, and I'm standing, like, with my back to the bar, facing the collection of people.
The Ninja Turtle shots.
Yeah, oh my god. Don't even get me started. But anyway, fucking this drunk lady who I'd been doing karaoke and she had been like eyeing me, and I noticed that. I'm like, oh, whatever, she's drunk. And she's standing across the bar and she notices me standing there, so she just walks up wordlessly, just looks me in my eyes and just starts touching me.
Ooh, no.
And I'm like, okay,
Fuck
this
that.
at first I'm like, haha, you're drunk. I'm trying to like, move her hands, like, you're stop touching me. And then it gets more and more like violent.
Yeah.
It goes from like, haha, this is funny. Okay, this is really weird. Okay, stop.
Yeah.
And I'm like defending, like in the fetal position, like defending myself. And it ended up where the bartender, not the bartender, but the doorman actually, like the bouncer, came over and was like, you have to stop. Like, you are sexually harassing this man right now. And she tried to tell him, no, you don't understand. Like, we're vibing right now. He's coming home with me.
We're vibing right now.
And he's like, that's not what it looks like. Like, it looks like you're attacking him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, she's attacking me.
Even
it was bad.
Even from the start, like, if I learned anything from, like, PSAs from being a teenager till now, being drunk is not an excuse. Like,
no, it's not.
It's not at all.
It made me so angry. Well, yes, it did make me angry that she was, touching me without my consent and all that. But just the fact that she assumed just on the basis that she was a woman.
Yeah.
That like, of course he'll be into this. Like, of course I can do this and it's fine.
I mean, it's like people don't think that, not that men have any standards, but that, like, we just, like, see pussy and have to react a certain way, and that's not true.
Yeah,
like, there are other things, like, going on.
Especially with me. We don't have to, or not even that we don't have to, we're not going into that. That's super, I'm pretty much, I don't know, I'm weird when it comes to attraction.
I'm weird.
It's not as simple as you hot or whatever. I need something
like
else.
I've tried the casual sex thing before, and like it's not. I can't do it. Like,
I almost did one time. Like, I had met a girl going out, and I got her number and all that, and she asked me, like, it was like midday, it was like daylight and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, oh, what are you up to? I want to come hang out. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, what do you want to do? Let's play video games or something. And I didn't know that we weren't going to play video games.
Oh, this happened to me. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I'm not the only one. So she comes over and we play something for like 2 seconds, and immediately she's like, let's lay down. And I'm like,
did they read a book where they get this from?
I don't know. Does this sound the same?
This is exactly. Go on.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, fine, I'll do this for a second or whatever. I'll see where this goes. And immediately we just start like making out and shit. I'm like, what is happening? I think I actually said that out loud at one point. Like, what? How did this happen?
Yeah.
This is like, I don't give a fuck. And I think I stopped her. I was like, okay, I'm cool with, making out and doing whatever, but, like, we're not going to have sex.
Okay.
And she got so mad.
Okay, yeah.
She's like, what is wrong with you? Like, of course we're going to have sex. And I was like, what do you mean, of course? Like, when was this discussed? Are you serious? God. So, yeah.
So, my version of this very similar story
oh, God.
is I was invited over to have coffee with someone.
Okay.
She invited me over to her apartment. I should have known what that meant. I didn't know what that meant, right? So I go, I get my fucking French press because like we're gonna have good coffee.
Yeah, I'm gonna impress the shit out of her with this coffee.
I go to Whole Foods. I buy some like $17 coffee or something like that. And I get to her apartment and I walk in and she's pulling cookies out of the oven. Like I feel like I'm in some like Lifetime movie where I'm gonna get murdered. And I'm like,
making room for you in this office.
Yeah. Heard you're part Jewish. She was like, the power's out right now, so, we can just hang out till it comes on. It's like, alright, that's cool, yeah, we wait till the power comes on for me to make the coffee, alright. And she was like, well, I'm gonna give you a tour of the apartment. She's like, this is the front room where you're at. I was like, cool. She took me to the hallway, and she was like, this is the hallway, and she went into a bedroom. She was like, this is my bedroom, and she laid down. And, like, I just kind of stood there for 2 minutes. It was like, oh, you got a base on the wall. That's cool. And it was like, she laid down. I should have known what that meant. Didn't know what that meant.
Look, alright, just an aside before you go on. Ladies.
Ladies.
I'm just talking to the ladies in the audience real quick. Stop being coy and, like, assuming that I will pick up on, for me.
No, I'm dumb as shit.
We'll speak for
I
ourselves
just wanted to
here.
drink some coffee, to be honest.
Yeah, like, it's very, like, we're very, like, there's no nuance to communication when it comes to that. Like, if I'm interested in you, I'll tell you, like, I want to lick your face or something. Like, I'll be very clear. Like, I'm not going to hint around. And I'm very bad at picking up on hints like that. So, yeah.
So, like, I lay down, and I'm like, okay, well, this is fine. And she turns to me, and she's like, I've been awake for a very long time, so don't judge me if I fall asleep. I was like, do not fall asleep around me. I'm a stranger. What are you doing? I'm not going to do anything, but, like, don't put me in that position.
Yeah.
So she falls asleep. I'm like, okay, I'll fall asleep. I'll go to sleep, whatever. I could end up murdered. I don't care at this point.
All right.
And so I wake up. The power's back on. She puts on some, I don't remember the name of the show, but some cartoon featuring superhero sidekicks. And
I don't know that
we start to make out to that. And, like, she keeps guiding me in these positions where, like, I'm holding her down. And, like, I'm like, I don't know you that well.
Yeah, our relationship isn't on the level that I can
Goes like,
essentially assault you.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. And, like, there was a banging at the door, and she was like, don't worry about that. I was like, what the fuck? How can I not worry about that?
At the door.
And so, like, I'm just paranoid, but I'm not. She gave me, later on, some things happened. She jacked up my neck real bad. And I went to leave, and some things happened. We didn't have sex. But she gave me some cookies to leave, and I walked out to my car, and it was raining. At that point, I parked far away. And I was just walking across this raining parking lot as the cookies slowly got, like, soggy in my hand. And I got in the car, and I looked at my neck, and I just, like, sat there for, like, 20 minutes, be like, what am I doing?
Yeah, there's always that point where you look within yourself, like, this isn't me.
Yeah, exactly. That's... Then, about a week later, I'm a creep. You know,
okay.
I'm okay with admitting this. I'm a creep. I found her Facebook, and I saw that a few days after we had our little exchange, I guess we could say, she got engaged to someone.
Oh.
And I think that's what the banging at the door might have been. And I felt worse about it.
So you were just like a...
Yeah.
Like, let me get back out there real quick before I pull the trigger on this.
That's what I felt. Very cheap. I didn't like it.
I'm sorry that happened to you, Bill.
That's fine. It's fine. This next tweet.
Oh, yeah, this next tweet. Oh wow! how relevant? Check that out.
December 27th. I love your dick. I mean art.
Okay, all right. I have thoughts about this.
All right.
Where it's, I see the meaning of the tweet. It's like, I love your dick. I mean art. It's like you want to hide. It seems like, I don't know. With me personally, I would like to hide my, I guess what you would call, like, primal instinct side of me.
Okay.
Like the part of me that, like, wants to, like, jump on a girl and just, like, you know what I mean?
The Max Landis party.
Oh my god! Please don't do this to me. Max Landis was one of my heroes. But you know, like, I don't want to be seen as a horn dog. You know, like, so I always, like, repress that side of me, even when it's warranted. Like, even when now is the time for you to do that. Yeah. It's still like, no, but like, no.
Like,
so I always, like, mask it, I guess.
I think it's part of the varying things of, like, if I was just, like, meeting someone, or, like, just went out with them, I wouldn't do that, but after we've gotten accustomed to each other, yeah, then yeah, I can, because then it's kind of like, sheepish. I don't know. Like,
bitch, but I have my money. What?
Like, yeah, like, whenever you're first getting to know someone, or, like, you just approach someone, I don't want to be like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, here's my dick.
Like, hey, this is my dick. Why don't you yank on this dick a little bit?
You sound like fucking Ernest. Yank on his dick. Is there any Ernest Rule 34?
Is there a This Ain't Ernest parody?
Yeah.
An XXX
Wow,
parody.
you ain't on that dick.
Ernest goes to the brothel.
Oh shit. If I go on Pornhub right now and search that and there's nothing there, I will be so mad.
There has to be. Like,
alright, after this,
we'll
look for that shit.
20... Do you want to read this one?
Yes. Or you can read it. I read the last one.
December 26th. Things I can emotionally handle. Cereal.
That's a very short list.
Do you ever feel like some days anything can break you?
Some days, yes, when I'm in certain moods, and I'm still holding on to anger from something that happened in the past. Like I was saying before, like, I haven't expressed or, like, really dove into what is bothering me, and then, like, one small thing will happen, and it will just set me off.
Like,
I used to be like that a lot before I started doing comedy, and could, like really, like, talk about my issues, and... Because that's what I do in my comedy. Like, the things that really bother me in my life, I turn them into jokes.
Yeah.
And
that's good. That's what you gotta do.
Yeah.
I know, like, a few days before I left to go on tour, I was going through some things that upset me, and we're going through, but, like, I was carrying it all on my back, because I was like, I'm going on tour, I got things to take care of, like, gotta do this. I was driving home, like, 2 days before I left on tour, and the Weezer song Pink Triangle came on.
Oh, yes, I love that one.
I also do, but for some reason, that just shattered me. And I was like, I had to stop my car, I was crying so hard, like, it was...
Oh, no.
Just, some days anything can set off. It's not about what does it, it's about, like, what the actual underlying things are.
Alright, so there was this, speaking of songs that break me, you're familiar with about the music industry, right?
Yeah.
They have a song, hold on, I actually need to shout out this song and see what it's called. Every time I put this song on, like, it brings me to a place, like, it immediately reminds me of a person and a place and time. And it's called Future 86.
Okay, yeah.
That one. That anytime I put that song on, it immediately, like, I'm not gonna, like, bust out crying like I used to, but, like, if I'm in a good mood, it will erase that good mood.
See, for me, my Bond music industry song like that is Sad or Weirder.
Which one is that on?
That is on Scrambles.
Okay, I haven't listened to that one.
It's all about, like, one of the lines is, I have no use for gifts. Like, I have no use for Crocs now. It is about, like, getting rid of, like, stuffing things into boxes and throwing away these, like, sentimental items.
Oh, yeah, we went into that before, about how you smashed all that shit.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
So, how long have we been doing? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah, like, I guess in the vein of So Sad Today, like, do you ever feel like there's a certain stigma attached to being sad, I think, but, like, do you think being sad is a bad thing?
It certainly feels like it is, but I think that it's healthy.
Yeah.
I think it's healthy to be honest with yourself emotionally. Because like I was saying, I feel like denying what you feel and, like, holding it inside and trying your best to mask it leads to greater issues down
cancer.
Like cancer. Like I was saying, it feels like that it would give me cancer. But like we were saying, it's healthy to have a good cry.
Yeah.
Here's my philosophy, or here's how I understand. Before everyone jumps on me, I understand that this does not work for everybody because everyone else Everyone doesn't, isn't wired the same way. But here's what I do. If something is really bothering me and I feel like really emotionally like bothered by it or, disturbed, I tell myself, you get one day, you get one 24-hour period to, cry, bitch about it, complain, be down on yourself and your head and all that. You get one day. After that day is over, you gotta move on.
Okay.
Like, you're done after that. And I understand that doesn't work for everybody, but it works for me. And, yeah, that's my strategy.
Like, I feel like there's a certain strength in being sad. Like, if it's something, as I've gotten older, I figured out that, like, every negative thing I feel, be it, sadness or anger or heartbrokenness, anything like that, that they're things that I can use. Because, I feel like I do my best work, be it, writing or music or anything like that, is when I'm in one of those places.
Oh, yeah.
Either being sad or, like, spite. Like...
Oh, you were telling me about spite.
Yeah.
You got spite on lock.
Like, me and a friend, she found this quote by the dude who used to design the Final Fantasy characters.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the questions someone asked him was, why do all the Final Fantasy characters have, like, zippers and belts everywhere? And he was like, because one day someone said, man, you put a lot of zippers and belts on these characters. And he was like, fuck you, I'll show you zippers and belts. But I feel it's... Sometimes it's nice to be sad. I feel like, because it's a good emotional grounding. I feel like
it's honesty.
Yeah,
to me. I feel this way, and you can I don't give a fuck. Like, if you think it's okay, or like if it makes you uncomfortable. Like, this is how I feel.
This is what it is.
Yeah, I like that.
I feel like that's.
So I have a question I've been meaning to ask you, and if you'd like, I'll answer it first.
Okay.
But in the vein of So Sad Today, when do you feel like in your life you were at your emotional rock bottom?
Okay.
Like, when were you at your lowest?
I had me and Carson had a joke about it a few days ago, and it was really good. I let one of my other friends know about it a few days ago also, so I've become more open with this. You may have seen the joke that I had about being in a relationship with a prostitute.
Yes.
Real.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And that was the source of that time, because I was going through a lot of things trying to deal with it, and because I was like, it should be okay, like I should be fine, but like it wasn't. Obviously, I was having a hard time.
Yeah, you're lying to yourself.
Lying to myself, essentially, yeah. And I remember there was one night where I had come across a bunch of red wine somehow, and I drank a bunch of... I remember I drank red wine until it started tasting like strawberry soda.
Oh.
And I was on the floor in the front room where the couch and TV and stuff were, and I was just laying there. And it was the only time that I seriously considered... Because, the thought of suicide is always, in the back of my head. Kind of as a joke. It's always I could get out of doing anything if I just killed myself.
Oh, yeah.
But, it was the only time that I actually thought about, I could just go into the shower and just, fucking get rid of it. I don't even have to deal with this. And,
damn.
Then, yeah, I think that was by the time where I felt the most subhuman, I feel like.
Yeah. That sounds rough.
Yeah. But that turned into a joke.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about, Bill. That's what I'm saying. I also turned one of my lowest, or probably the lowest point in my life, into a joke, into several jokes. I have a T-shirt about it.
It's a good T-shirt.
I like it. Shouts out to the T-shirt. So I used to drink a lot. I still drink, but I used to drink a lot. I used to be out of control. I used to be blacking out, every weekend. But it was fun. I would do things that would embarrass me or whatever, and I would hear about it later and be like, oh, that's crazy, And one weekend, it was actually the weekend of my birthday. Like, I was celebrating my birthday this weekend. And I had gone out, I drove, and I gone out to a bar, and I got, like, super drunk. Like, probably the drunkest I've ever been in public.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about, at house parties or, like, in my own time or whatever, but this is the drunkest I'd ever been in public. And people kept telling me that, like, you were gone.
Yeah.
Like, we were worried about you. But, me and my friends had decided, we were going to leave. And, they were driving their own cars, and I was following behind them in my car.
Yeah.
And they made it home, and I did not.
Oh God.
And they were like, Ryan was right behind us. Where did he go? And they had gone out, like, one of them had gone out searching the streets for me, and the other one stayed at home,
just
searching.
In case.
Yes, just in case I showed up,
Yeah.
and searching online to see if there's any sign of me. He went on GotBustedMobile.com.
The foresight.
Yes,
God damn.
and saw my mugshot and was like, he called my other friend and was like, I know where Ryan is. He is in jail. So this, from my perspective, this is what happened. I was at the bar, having fun. I was in jail. Like, there was nothing in between.
Not having fun.
Yeah. I absolutely blacked out. And this is, according to the police report, this is what happened. I got in my car, started to drive, immediately got lost. And I turned into what I guess was the state docks.
Okay,
And
seems
I've
like
gone-
a bad place.
Yeah, I'd gone through a security gate, and like of course the state docks, police or whatever was like, "Yo, what you doing in here?" And they arrested me for DUI and all that, and they took me to jail. And I remember just sitting in the cell, like the little holding cell, because it wasn't actually jail. It was like the little holding cell, and I was there for 8 hours. And I remember, like, all the thoughts in my head were just like, this is the worst thing you've ever done. Like, you could have killed someone, you could have killed yourself, like, you could have...
Most importantly, yourself.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, really, let's not bullshit here. And, like, I gotta call my mom.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta tell my mom that, like, I've disappointed her in the worst way. Like, cause I feel like I could call my mom and tell her that I got someone pregnant, and she wouldn't be as disappointed in me as me having to call her and tell her I'm in jail.
Yeah.
And it, like, I know it broke her heart, and, like, I don't know, it was, I had to stay there for 8 hours. Like, I had to. Like, that was, people that come to bail me out, and they were like, man, 3 people came to bail you out. But I was, like, by law, I had to stay there for 8 hours. And it was 8 hours that I just sat there in my cell and just stewed about, like, how terrible of a mistake I'd made. And, yeah, that was pretty much the lowest emotional point I had been in.
And then, even in these dark times, we could still find the little light in our pocket to make it into something else.
Oh yeah, I do that joke every now and then.
Yeah.
about that. And I also went on Got Busted Mobile, and I got my mugshot, and I put it on a t-shirt, and I sell that t-shirt. So there's people walking around Mobile right now with I actually got my mom one of those shirts for Christmas. I'll show you the video afterwards.
Jesus.
But yeah, that's what I did.
All right. Well, so sad today.
That opened up the floodgates.
I thought it would. To be honest, I thought
we went in.
So sad today. Would you hit that? Would you hit that follow button?
I would. Ultimately, yes, I would. I was kind of on the fence because it's like I don't know if I am having a good day. I don't know if I need that reminder that sadness is just around the corner. But also, it's grounding.
Yeah.
It's. I think I would follow this. I would tap that. Would you tap that?
Yeah, I don't know why. I didn't need to pause.
The consideration here.
Unless I was considering getting a Xanax prescription, then that's the only circumstance where I wouldn't follow it.
Alright.
Because I went up like a little peep, you know.
Oh no.
Yeah, he's fine.
He's fine. He's markedly not fine.
But yeah, like you said, there's a certain grounding, and I think there's a certain strength in acknowledging these feelings. So yeah, I would follow her. Buying the book, probably.
Oh yeah, there's a book.
It'd be a good conversation piece. I feel like.
Here's a depression book.
And
and now we're making out.
It's called The Bell Rose. The Bell Jar. God damn it.
Oh, there's a new tweet here. During the podcast. I like this. It's from...
it's funny.
It's from 30 minutes ago. It says, body type, definitely getting worse.
Her colon is not getting worse.
Oh,
but...
yeah, there's the punctuation, colon. But they keep coming.
They keep coming. She's so sad, but she's also pretty funny.
Yeah, she's witty as fuck. So on those notes, on those grounds, unanimous follow.
Unanimous two birds up.
Yeah, two birds. Yeah, let's have
two birds in the bush.
Yeah, two birds sitting down. But yeah, at So Sad Today.
Yeah, it's So Sad. You could find us with that Twitter sitters with the 3s for E's.
Yes, that's true.
You got Twitter sitters with the 3s for E's.wordpress.com. We'll buy a domain at some point. I'm just
yeah, it's a place filler.
Yeah, you can find us on iTunes and wherever you find podcasts. Really, I think.
Yeah. Also, speaking of iTunes, I went to our iTunes page and there were no ratings, reviews.
There were no ratings. We don't.
Yo,
I guess people don't care about us, Ryan.
I guess they don't care.
Unless maybe if people care. We wouldn't be so sad today.
I wish we had people in our lives that would care.
If
Bill.
only people cared, like maybe the world would be a better place. Maybe if you rated Twitter sitters 5 stars, maybe the world would be a little bit of a better place. You don't know unless you try.
Yeah, but your bitch ass won't. I bet you won't.
See, that's that spike coming through.
Yeah, you better do it.
I know
5 stars, dude. Give us a review. Help us out.
Yeah, give us a review. And we'll put some music over.
No, wait, we gotta shout out our personal.
Oh!
I'm at Ron Truth Mexico.
I'm at Bill So Bill. Of course, Twitter series 3s for E's.
Yeah,
that's our Twitter account. We got a new banner picture.
Oh yeah, dude, I saw that.
Wait, you.
I did that.
You did that, I made the picture. You had the foresight to make the banner picture, which I didn't even think about. I'm a fucking idiot.
I love that banner picture. But, yeah. Alright, now we can put the music over.
Now we can put the music over.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.